Saturday, the 18th of July 2020. This is the regular Labour report from the Democratic Alliance. We have had oversight on two particular issues I want to handle this week. One, Oxfam reports a further 2 million people are starving because of the lockdown, an uncalled for lockdown. And two, from February to April 2020 this year, a further 3 million people have been retrenched. Hi, I am Michael Bagram, the Labour spokesperson for the Democratic Alliance. As we added a further uncalled for ban on alcohol to the load shedding that we are now experiencing across the country, the lockdown has caused 2 million extra people to be suffering of malnutrition. It's an unbelievable statement in this day and age to make in South Africa. So over and above the many millions of starving people we have in South Africa, our citizens, we add another 2 million because of the actions of our government. Oxfam reports that this is set to increase, and it is absolutely devastating. The non-payment of the UIF has certainly exacerbated this issue. And as people lose their jobs and join the unemployed queues in South Africa, they're not able to feed their families, causing illness and the spread of other diseases. It is shocking, and our government has let down the people of South Africa. The Democratic Alliance has called for a thorough investigation into the fraud at the UIF and where has all the money gone. There are, by their own account, almost 1 million people who have not been paid through the UIF. Leading on from this, a report has emerged that a further 3 million South African workers have joined the unemployment queue. Now you will recall, we had 10 million unemployed South Africans prior to the pandemic. 10 million, the greatest percentage in the world. Now we add another 3 million to this queue of unemployed. Now remember, this report of the 3 million is only for the months before the lockdown. In other words, April was joined into it, but that was it. We've had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people retrenched during May and June and July. Those numbers are not counted into the 3 million. And we suspect that Treasury's report of 3 to 7 million would be retrenched over this pandemic. We suspect that we're going to reach that figure of a further 7 million people retrenched because of the lockdown. Not because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown. Business has been destroyed. They are now further trying to destroy businesses that we thought might come right, such as the alcohol industry. But what about tourism? What about transport? What about hotels? What about all the businesses that cannot start up because of the lockdown? We are seeing it from every single sector. The restaurants, the wedding industry. I can carry on all day. Because of the lockdown, business is being destroyed, and we'll probably never see them come back to this level again. Not in our lifetime, but at least not for a decade. This is a real problem, and somehow our government does not see it. They are blind to the exercise. Over and above that, with regard to the promises of payment for UIF, well, that has let us down terribly. It has been an absolute shocker. Again and again, we call for the Minister of Employment and Labour to stand down, to fall on his own sword, and to leave the job as soon as possible. We cannot carry on like that. Now, what we do know is that as businesses retrench, and we're going into the retrenchment now in a big way, the businesses must complete the UI-19 form from the Unemployment Insurance Fund. This is not the TERS, not the emergency funding. This is normal unemployment insurance fund monies. Complete that as quickly as possible. As you know, the fund itself is incompetent, the administration is up to maggots, and the sooner you claim the better. And you need to complete the UI-19 form. The employer must complete it, sign it off, and get it sent in as quickly as possible. You must understand that there's going to be delays, there's going to be heartache, but at least do it, so at least you're in the queue to get the unemployment insurance monies. Make sure that the reason for termination is put in as number 11, and that is retrenchment, not voluntary retrenchment, but retrenchment. Put number 11 on the form so that people can go ahead and claim their monies. If there's anything such as resignation, the monies will not be paid. So there must be a retrenchment clause put in under number 11. Reason for dismissal is retrenchment number 11. Please do this and send it in as quickly as possible. We also know that our workforce, those that are lucky enough to have jobs, are in fact working at a much slower pace. There's not much work out there. People are on reduced work time. And you can still claim from the UIF for reduced work time. That would be number 17. The reason is reduced work time and therefore reduced pay. Again, complete those forms. There are other forms that have to be filled in, and you can get that on the Democratic Alliance website. All the forms will be there. We ensured that we uploaded all those forms on the Democratic Alliance workforce. I must just tell you that I have been working for 4 months around the clock to try and help people get this UIF. I've been partially successful, but very partially. And I am at a situation right now where I am at the end of my tether. I will continue, and I will push, and I will continue trying my utmost to ensure that people get their UIF. But on many occasions I have not been successful, and to those people I apologize. I sympathize, I understand. We will continue. The Democratic Alliance will do everything in its power to ensure that the workers of South Africa not only survive, but get back to work and get the monies that they deserve from the UIF. So thank you for listening to me today. I really appreciate it. Michael Bagram, the Labour spokesperson, Saturday the 18th of July 2020. Thank you ever so much for listening.